Hi, everyone. My name is Veronica Jimenez. I'm a junior here at the St. Petersburg campus. I'm a political science major and a criminology minor, and I'm running to be your next governor-elect for the second consolidated term of student government.
Hi everyone, my name is Aaron Fruhoff. I'm running for lieutenant governor for the St. Petersburg campus. I'm a third year double majoring in political science and world languages and cultures.
All right. So I am Sophie Ojdanic. I'm the editor-in-chief of the Crow's Nest, and we are here with Veronica and Aaron today to discuss some questions going into their possible positions as governor and lieutenant governor, as well as address some questions posed by the student body. So we're going to go ahead and try to do a 2-minute limit on these questions and answers. And we can go ahead and get started. So first, Veronica and Aaron, if you would just explain the platform that you guys are running on this semester.
Okay, so our platform is mainly to just be the voice for the student body. Of course, transparency is a big one. We really rely on student concerns. We want them to believe that we can be the voice for them if they're scared to reach out to anyone in student government or anyone in the student body or anyone to the administration. We want to be that stepping stone for them. We want to hear them. As we're as we're both third years, we have the experience of being here for a few years. We've been involved in student government, so we're pretty familiar. So we want them to be able to trust. Aaron, if you'd like to add something else.
Yeah, and as Veronica detailed more specifically in her initiatives, I think providing the student body with direct answers to the problems that they face. So concerns over COVID-19 or over sexual assault or Black Lives Matter. There's countless issues that are facing our campus that I think remain unresolved, and I think we as candidates will do our best to find answers to these questions.
Now, Veronica and Aaron, you both have former experience in student government prior to consolidation and even in this first term as a consolidated SG. So how have your past experiences with student government prepared you for the governor position and Aaron for the lieutenant governor position?
So my past experience in student government has been especially beneficial as being a senator for the 48th and the 47th term, as well as Senate President and pro tempore. It gives me the opportunity to reach out to the student organization, see what they need. That direct contact with the student body, with the organizations, has been really helpful. And being in certain committees, I was never able to attend the Relations Committee, but the Relations Committee, they had a direct connection with the student body because they were sending out surveys. We would consistently be figuring out different ways to make the students' experience at USFSP the best as it can be. It's taught me how to become a leader. In the last term, before consolidation, there have been a few resignations within student government. So I've had to step up to the plate very quickly, and that has definitely taught me to become a leader, to become more self-confident in myself, to be accepting, and to learn that people will actually listen to me, because it's amazing to finally have a voice after being in an organization for so long. And that's my answer.
Yeah, so I served as a senator like Veronica as on both the pre and post consolidated Senate. And right now I'm serving as campus council chair for St. Pete. And that position also sits on CAF, which is the local funding council. Um, and that's what the governor and lieutenant governor will sit on. So a lot of the information that I'm getting there and being the experience of being on that committee, I think, is preparing me for the position ahead.
So we have a student question. What will your first priority in office be?
Aaron and I, we have a lot of initiatives that we'd like to accomplish, and everything is our top priority.
Yeah, I mean, For me personally, I think the most important thing, and this is something I've heard from my friends and from people in student government and around, is the library hours is always been a topic of discussion, and it's always been something that's like, it's the easiest way to make impactful change. Like, people make initiatives that sometimes can't actually answer the problems that people are facing. And library hours has been something that even before COVID, that people have been saying, like, we need, at least during exams and stuff like that, midterms, like, we need those hours. We need to be able to go to the library. And so not having that, I think is, especially during COVID now, where they're limiting the hours, it's definitely a major concern. And I think that'd be a really impactful change that we should address immediately.
Another top thing is if we're continuing these online courses for a while, to have the ability to for teachers to add closed captions and subtitles to their online lectures, because I find it easier to pay attention if I can actually read something. But that was just a really side initiative. But just making sure that the students are being heard and they need to get everything done, but as well as the longer library hours.
We have another student question. Do you, or if you do, what are your plans to increase student involvement in student government?
I know that is a difficult one because, of course, we're in the pandemic, so of course it's harder to get students engaged. Before COVID, we heavily relied on tabling for events. And of course, we were able to put on events to get students engaged, but there's always been like a lower turnout for voters and a lot of participation. I guess a way to engage students to join or be excited about student government would be to have um, some not I guess some sort of incentive. I mean, we don't want them to. They need a reason to go. That's all I can think of right now. It's very tough during these times. We can do a lot more engaging activities. I know when COVID first happened, we did weekly SG socials where we would play Kahoot, or when we were in person, we would order pizza, do little trivia games. If we could really keep students interested by doing Kahoots, doing little fun trivia games, keeping them engaged, offering tips and solutions on how to get through classes, make it very personable to them in ways that they could succeed.
So how do you anticipate the workflow to be between the local and federal government, as this is only the second consolidated term of SG?
Since this past term, I worked on the federal level of Senate, so we would remain in constant contact with all three campuses because we are representing the St. Petersburg campus. But working now with the local level, being the voice to bring it up to the federal level, I hope it runs very smoothly. The people that I've worked with this past year from Tampa and from Sarasota and even from my own campus, they've been great. My advisors would be great. You always have advisors if you have a question or if you want to ensure that things will run smoothly. I would heavily rely on them to make sure that I'm not overstepping, or if this is the right person to ask, or to really accomplish anything. I anticipate that it will be a smooth transition. Um, the executive branch from all three campuses, everyone is super nice so far, and that I don't anticipate anything bad.
Yeah, I think you put it well by saying, the whoever the questioner was, by saying between local and federal government, because I think that is where the tension lies now. I don't think it's any longer between necessarily Tampa and St. Pete, or St. Pete and Sarasota, Manatee, or whatever. It's a lot about the way these, like you said, the processes that are undergoing, like, whether or not that happens on a federal level or a local level. Um, and for me personally, like Veronica was saying, I hope there's not any issues, but I think the way it went this year, I would expect there to be more tension, or and not like an increasing amount necessarily, but I don't see there's any reason for these, like, I guess you'd call them like regional strifes, to disappear. For me, I unless there's a change in leadership, like for the president, vice president, that changes the ways things are operating, like if everything else is the same, I think it would, there's no reason to expect that change.
All right, now we will head back into student questions. So we have a question that says, what plans do you have to ensure mental health services are not only accessible but effective on the St. Petersburg campus?
Some mental health services. So one of the things that I've really been pushing as a senator and just in student government as well, but then I realized it was already accomplished, so it kind of cancels out. I was disappointed at first that that the wellness center only offered unlimited amount of counseling sessions, but I was able to talk to one of the counselors and they got rid of the limit. So that was something that I really wanted to push for, but they accomplished that. And something that I've noticed, so we have the COVID campus pass test for the physical health and stuff, but I've been thinking pretty recently if we were able to get a mental health check-in. I don't know if that would be beneficial to the student body. It's just, I personally think it would be. I don't know how difficult it would be to implement that, but there could be a daily check-in, and your answers aren't, if your answers spark any kind of discussion, a counselor could reach out to you, or somebody from the wellness center, from student health services. It could be a way to check in with the student body every day, because these are really difficult times. So no, we all need the help that we can get, and really just somebody to talk to, and just that daily check-in it will be a nice reminder to us to say, are we keeping ourselves in check? Are we doing okay? So that's all I have to add right now. If Aaron, you think of any.
So, and I'm not too well versed on mental health terminology or anything like that, but I do think it's definitely an important issue. And again, in the pandemic, I think mental health needs to be, like, we need to be especially careful with making sure everyone's mentally healthy, because we're not going out and seeing our friends, and we're not um, you know doing the activities that we used to be doing. So I don't have any initiatives personally to solve that, but I think it'd be worth maybe sitting down with someone from either that profession, or from our campus, that could maybe give us insight as to what would help the students most, because I don't personally know, but I'm sure there's an answer somewhere, that someone could give us.
So the next question we have from a student is, can you tell us about any sustainability ideas or projects that you have for the St. Petersburg campus?
So something that I had in mind, or just some thoughts that I've been noticing on this campus. I don't know if it's because that the Nest dining hall has opened up, and they have their version of the Orca there where we put all of our trash. But when I've been to the USC recently a few times, I don't know if it's because of the cost or something else, but I've noticed that the Orca is closed at the USC, and I tend to eat there a lot. You get Starbucks trash, food, you have to put in the trash, and even though there's signs everywhere, dump it in the Orca's closed. So I want to figure out a way to be able to talk to someone to see why it's closed and if we can open it. And of course, the top priority is always the bay cleanups.
I'm not sure this necessarily fits into sustainability. I think it kind of dips into it, but I know one thing is we've had the butterfly garden, and I think it was this year and last year it received no funding from the governors. So that might be something that we could look into. I don't know if people still care about the butterfly garden, but I always thought it was a cute, like it served a purpose, but it also was like something that certain clubs or organizations could take care of in a certain way, and it could also I think the end goal is hoping that butterflies will come to our campus, right? But and I don't know if it's successful in that or not, but if maybe it would be worth expanding that, or looking at the funding it receives.
It would be great to call a committee to order that's entirely focused on sustainability initiatives and projects. So of course you have your director of sustainability initiatives. So if they like to partner up with different organizations on campus, you have Student Green Energy Fund, you have Seas. But if they're able to partner up with different organizations, a special council to do beach cleanups, to work on the bay, to fix up the butterfly garden, to get students really, we can even do small forums where they teach the benefits of using metal straws and not using using less plastic. Different things like that to really inform the student body as well as get them engaged. Obviously, that's not ideal right now because of COVID, but hopefully within the next year, things can start going back to normal where you can actually come together on campus and make our campus beautiful.
So you both have worked with Andrea Campos and Isaiah Castle, who are the governor and lieutenant governor. Do you have any plans to continue work that they've started, or have you decided to alter any of the work that they've already done for the campus?
One initiative that I'd personally like to continue. I'm not sure if that can be done through the other ways other than the fund, because they were using the governor's fund for this, but the menstrual pads for free. I thought that's just an awesome initiative in my opinion. So it's like I think that's something that would be cool to continue, whether that's through us, or I don't know if we can find some other way to fund that. But I do think that's a really awesome initiative, and I think it's worth continuing.
I entirely have to agree with Aaron's answer. I even remember in the 48th term going into meetings and talking about this initiative, how great it would be if we can have free menstrual products in the bathrooms across campus. So when I first saw, when I went to the library recently and I saw that there is a little pack of free menstrual products, I was so excited. I think I texted my friend a picture and saying, wow, this initiative has finally been accomplished because we've been working at it for so long. So I definitely think that the free menstrual services would definitely be a plus to keep going as well. They can be expensive and not everyone can have the access to it. So to be able to put it in public restrooms, super beneficial.
All right, that is all the questions that I have for you guys today. Do you have anything else you'd like to share with the St. Petersburg or USF student body?
That we want to be here for them. We don't want them to be scared of us. They should know that we're here for them and that we are actually going to listen to them and follow these initiatives. I know we mentioned a few things in the Crow's Nest article that was released, and I want them to know that they can hold us accountable. We want to get these things done. We don't want these to be empty promises. We really want to accomplish and remain transparent with the student body and with the administration to know that we will accomplish these goals, and we intend to hear you and we want to be there for you as yeah.
Just as an extension of what Veronica was saying, is the only way we can know how to pursue the student body's interests is if they tell us what their interests are. So I encourage everyone that listens to this to reach out to us and tell us their concerns and what they think should be done, because there's no way we can know what is wanted of us unless we're told. um, and same goes with feedback, like for initiatives, like if we're doing something right, knowing that we're doing it right would be helpful. But that's all.